Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing some Premier Draft Ikoria, Lair of Behemoth. So, this is the brand new event kind of thing. It's a permanent-ish event, I guess you could call it. Essentially, it's draft, but against human beings, so a nice brand new feature to the platform. So, I've actually played this twice so far to mixed to bad results. Honestly, I played a 0-3 and a 3-3. I'm happy enough with the 3-3 because I think you probably get about enough value in that. But the 0-3, obviously, very miserable. But I didn't actually pay for either one of them because when you actually start up Arena, if you haven't done it recently, then you might not know. But when you start up Arena sometime soon, as of the recording of this video in the next few days or so, if you boot up Arena, you'll get a little token right here that says you get one free draft entry. So I actually had one left over from, I think, the previous Mastery Pass or something like that. So I had 2 free entries into this. So I've had some practice games, and obviously my practice hasn't gone too well, but I'm hoping that today we can change that a little bit. So I'm going to be jumping in to a Premier Draft and seeing what we do. I don't know if I want to pay the 10,000 gold or the 1,500 gems. That's a tough one. I mean, I'm getting gems back. Usually what I do is I end up putting in what I get back out. So if it's gems rewards, I usually put gems in. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. I don't really care too much, to be honest. So yeah, let's do some Premier Draft. So the difference here is going to be that we're going up against human beings, and I'm not very good at it. And yeah, we're timed on our picks, so I'm probably not going to be picking things that are ideal. I'm going to be basically trying to do a 2-color deck, potentially splashing if it seems to be worth it. I think that's kind of the way to go about it. Ooh, Colossification. That seems pretty good. So, +20/+20 for 7 mana. It does tap the creature, but after that we might win if it's on a trampler. That seems like the card that you want to pick, right? The last 2 runs I went with, I did ramp, so it really sucks that I'm going for ramp yet again, but I don't know if I really... that is a bomb, right? It's got to be a bomb. Oh my god, and then we've got Godzilla as well. Ooh. That puts a trample counter on. So this is also Titanoth Rex. I can't really show you the non-Godzilla stuff like I normally would. But I guess I want to pick that as well. It's a nice 11/11 trample. Can put trample counters on a creature as well if we cycle it, so it's pretty useful. Yeah, I think that's what we're going for. I guess that's a bomb as well. I was very bomb light in my previous 2 drafts as well. That was kind of a weakness of mine for sure. So you go bombs, removal, evasion, aggro, duds. I can't remember what the D stands for, actually. But that's the bread rule. I think I'm going to go with Pacifism, because it seems pretty good as a decent removal spell. Green doesn't seem to be too great. But the blue is a little bit more open, so maybe I want to actually just go green-blue, perhaps. When this creature mutates, you may return a creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. It's a 4-mana 4/3 for 5. Or for 4, actually, if you mutate. Honestly, maybe Simic is actually the colour combo I want to go with. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I think for now I'll take the Pacifism. And we'll just see what the state of blue looks like. We got an early Mosscoat Goriak. That's nice. Ventress Impulse. When it attacks, another attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Meh. I think. Meh. I don't know. I feel like I'd sooner have a Goriak. We'll go with that one. I'm not going to be able to talk too much into what I would normally pick here, because I'm feeling a little bit rushed, honestly. I think, like, this kind of timed commentary really works for people who know what they're doing, which is definitely not me. I wouldn't ever recommend using my limited footage as a tutorial, because I'm certainly not that good. but it's a thing, I suppose. What about an Essence Scatter? Like, this pack's not going to bring back anything good except for maybe a Plummet. Could take an early Cycler, I suppose. Cycling's like a red-white thing. I might just take the Essence Scatter as removal-ish kind of thing. We've got a Crystal. Got a Looter. Is a Looter very good? I hadn't seen this card being used so far. 4 mana, bounce a permanent, draw a card. It costs 2 less if you've got a flyer. That seems pretty good. That doesn't seem too bad. But there are a lot of mutate stuff going around, so bouncing 1 mutate just lets them reuse it all again. I'm not really sure that's what we want to do. Could take the Facet Reader. Could take the Sandworm as well. It's a nice cycler. Yeah. Maybe we'll get some, like, Black Reanimate or something like that. Sack a creature, destroy a creature. Another Essence Scatter. Guess I'll take the Essence Scatter. We got all the removal. Blade Banish is really solid as a removal source. God, I don't know if I want to be in Bant. I'm not sure what colour I'm going to be just yet, but I'm pretty sure like green is going to be the colour. Yeah, I'm kind of liking my green-white a little bit more than the blue, but the blue seems to be very much open right now, which makes me a little torn. Let's go with the Frost Links, I suppose. 3/5. So yeah, this pack hasn't really gone too great for us, I wouldn't say. We just don't quite know what we want to be doing here. Take a Convolute, I suppose. Cycling 1, sure. Got lots of cycling, so we can go through the crap in our deck. Take an Impulse. So, I mean, right now it looks like we're Simic. So maybe that's what we want to go for. We need a little bit better removal, I think, if we are going to go Simic. So, if I'm not Simic, I'm not using Pacifism or Blade Banish, unless they're just going to be a Light Splash, which is definitely a thing that it could be. Perfectly happy with a Light Splash. Most of our blue seems to be counter magic, though, so, like, our early game is very reactive, which I'm not too sure is a good idea, but here we are. Just take a Memory Leak, I suppose. Second pack will just really solidify what direction I want to go in. Take a Sleeper Dart. Don't know if I'm going to run that. And definitely not running a Raptor. Okay, come on, pack. Alright, an off-color Wedge card. There's a Symbiote. Flourishing Fox. Whenever you cycle another card, it gets a +1/+1 counter. That's a nice early game card as well. We've got a lot of cycling cards hanging around. I could see that. There is a Fully Grown there, but yeah, green just doesn't seem to be an option. I don't know. I like some of these cards, but they're not making it easy on me. I guess I'm just going to take the Flourishing Fox as a nice early game play. Oh, Emergent Ultimatum. Oh, that'd win me the game on the spot. Ah, dang it. Is it too late for a pivot? Take the Blade Banish and the Flourishing Fox out, and then we go black cards instead. I haven't been paying attention to the black as to whether it's been good or not, but White's got Divine Arrow here. Why are you the way that you are? I want Divine Arrow. Off-color Triome. Not really good on our rares. Our rares have been actually hot garbage. We do have lots of cycling, so maybe we're a cycling deck and we take the Valiant Rescuer. There is a Vulpikit here as well, which is very good. Perhaps the Rescuer is what we want to do. Can cycle itself. We can hold up and counter magic in the early game and then cycle as well. Maybe that's what we want to do, actually. Let's go with the Rescuer. Another Convolute. The Triome is kind of on colour. Not the Triome, sorry, the Crystal. I do like the Glider, though. The Glider looks pretty good. Whenever you cycle a card, you may pay one. If you do, exile a creature or artifact you control, then return it. We have no ETBs, right? Not really. Got Frostlinks. Yeah, it's really the only enter the battlefield, unless we're taking like pacifisms and capture spheres off of cards. Got a coordinated charge, which has cycling on it. Might take the charge, perhaps. Yeah, I'm a little rushed. Space Godzilla. Does require black to do that. There's a migration path here with cycling, which gets us up to our big spells. Yeah, I think that's the pick. So a little bit of ramp, a little bit of cycling. Neutralize, perhaps. We just don't really have the cycle payoffs, per se. Gonna need a couple more. Well, there's a cycle payoff to a certain extent. The Dranith Healer gains us a little bit of life. Nice 2-mana 2/2. Yeah, I think that's what we're going with. Got a little bit of a pack backlog here. Let's see. Exile up to 3 enchantments. Could be useful. Also has cycling. There's a Vigilant Goriak. I'm just going to take the Cycler, I think. Brushwag seems very good. Early game 1/1 that we can beat down with. Vantasaur. Cycles. Becomes large. I'm not going to be cutting things and putting in sideboards until much later. Ooh, Snare Tactician. Whenever you cycle, tap a creature. Love it. Escape Protocol came back. Not sure if it's useful or not, but we'll see. And that's a card for the sideboard. Last card, likely to be a basic. We're just waiting on everyone else to do their thing. Looks like Draft Chaff. He's holding up the queue a little bit. Oh, here we go. We got a basic. Fantastic. Alright, pack 3. Show me the money. We got Lead the Stampede. Seems like it should be really absurd. Look at the top 5 and then put any number of creatures in, but 11 creatures. Got a very high instant and sorcery count, though. I think like red-white's the cycling colour you want to be in, but it's a bit late to go to red. Yeah, we're just kind of like really bant right now. I don't know if we can cut one particular colour. Honestly. Let's do possibly this one, possibly Coordinated Charge. Yeah, I think actually maybe Evolving Wilds. Space Godzilla. There's a Capture Sphere. I like the Capture Sphere. We need some more removal, so I think I'll take that. We've got counter magic and then we've got removal. There's a lot of flashing that we want to do here, so we've got to keep that in mind, because I think what we're doing is we're controlling the early game up until the point where we drop a big bomb. Ooh, Mythos of a Luna. Create a copy of a permanent, so we can take our opponent's big bomb with that. Oh, there's also Ominous Seas. Oh, we've got to take that. Whenever you draw a card, you put a counter on it. Oh, Primal Empathy. Oh, this pack's sick for us. Well, we're going to take Seas and we're going to hope that some of it comes back. There's a Sultai Crystal, Divine Arrow, more removal. Thinking that might be what we want. There's a Ram Through as well, so that could come back as a nice little bit of removal. Yeah, this pack 3 seems really good so far. A Vulpikeet. We've got Survivor's Bond, return a human from your hand. How many humans have we got so far? We got a fair few, right? Well, 3. 3 out of 11. Could find more, but I think we'll just take the Vulpikeet. Arf. When you cycle this, put a flying counter on a creature you control. Doesn't seem too bad. There's also a Farfinder. I think I'd rather take the Cycler. We're going right through our deck, it seems. Dorat. We've got a Mutate, draw a card. It's probably the first pick I'm thinking. There's also a Wilt, which I think is a little bit better than the Barrier Breach. As a nice removal spell. I'm not sure. I think I might take the Heron first, though. I don't think I want to prioritize something like that. Tap 2 creatures. Those creatures don't untap. It's got a cycle of 1. All the cycling. This is going to be a horrible deck to actually cut down. Let's go Coordinated Charge. Take the Tranquil Cove as fixing. Anticipate or Adventurous Impulse. Very much blue-white in the beginning, so I'm going to be splashing green. Take the Crystal or the Impulse? I think it's the Crystal. Let's get us to those big spells early. We've got some big boys. Whether they stick around, though, is to be determined. We'll see. I'm not sure what I think of this deck so far. Fertilid. There's a bit of Ramp. Another Anticipate. There's a bit of Fixing. And then the last card, usually a basic. Sometimes it isn't. 20 gems, because one of those rares we picked, I already had enough of. Alright, well, I've got 54 freaking cards, so... we'll see. Alright, I'm going to make a little cut here, because there's no way in hell this deck is easy to cut down to a nice 40. So I'll be back in just a moment when I've decided what cards I'm going to cut, and then we'll go through what the deck looks like after that. Alright, see you soon. Alright, so... I think I've got this deck down to what I want it to be. I ended up cutting most of the green that we actually ended up drafting, because I think that an early game Azorius deck is probably a lot better, and to keep in mind as well that every single one of these green cards, except for Colossification, which should just win us the game on the spot, has actually got cycling. So if we have one green source for Godzilla, or no green sources for the Greater Sandworm, then we're going to actually be able to get rid of these cards if we can't cast them. Other than that, though, the entire deck, for the most part, plays at an instant speed. So if it doesn't have instant speed casting, like Flourishing Fox or the Healer, it has cycling instead. So the likelihood is that we're going to be able to play on our opponent's turn a lot, and that means that we've got things like Essence Scatter, Neutralize, and combat tricks like Startling Development, Blade Banish, Capture Sphere, all that we can work on our opponent's turn with. I did actually wonder whether or not I should go for like Convolute and the other Anticipate, just to go further in on that. It's possible actually that I should cut maybe the Colossification or the Godzilla to go for a Convolute, but I'm a little worried that I'm just threat light. But the idea of the deck is essentially just to durdle and delay, and we got our cycle payoffs in the Rescuer and the Healer, and obviously the Flourishing Fox as well, which we can later down the line mutate onto as well to give like flying. So this Godzilla and whatever classifications attached to, and the Sandworm can have flying and evasion, and we can cycle that onto them as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm hoping to have like a little bit of a tempo beatdown deck, I think is what we're going with here. But yeah, I'm really not sure whether or not I want to... maybe I don't want something like Godzilla actually. Or Colossification, maybe. As cool of a card as it is, maybe I just want the Convolute so I can keep countering and doing that kind of thing. Or maybe it's even the Dreamtail Heron for the card draw. I'm really not certain on this deck, but like the early game seems good. I'm just not sure about the finish, so time will tell anyway. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. It's going to be my last draft of this format, win or lose anyway, so yeah, we'll see how I do. If I win, sweet. If I lose, meh, doesn't really matter. I'm probably not going to draft it ever again anyway, but yeah, let's get into some gameplay. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button below the video, or check out the Patreon link down in the description below. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, we're in, and we've got a one-lander, so this one's going to get immediately thrown back. The last thing I want to do is cycle away our 2 early game cyclers, which are our cycle payoffs. It's a shame we don't have them, but this one's a lot better. We've got the Flourishing Fox, which we can get down early. We can then mutate onto it, I guess, or something like that. We're going to keep this one. I think we'll go with the Anticipate to the bottom. What are we doing here? We're going turn 1 Fox. I guess it's turn 2 Anticipate then. And then turn 3 Vulpikeet onto Flourishing Fox. Means that we're going all in on a creature, but that might be okay. And then turn 3 Frostlynx. So we'll put the Glider back. I'm not entirely sure actually though. I mean, maybe this is just the better card. We could just go like no Frostlynx and all flyers. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try all flyers. See how this goes. Yeah, I really hate the matchmaker in this this limited format. Because I don't know if you've noticed, we're up against gold when I'm like bronze 3 or something like that. I have, in my 3 drafts that I've done so far, not once have I managed to play against someone who is the same draft level as me. Not even bronze. I've had people in diamonds, platinums, golds. Not once have I played against someone in bronze in 3 drafts, counting this one, of course. So we're going to pass the turn here. Just going to anticipate on end step. I think is the plan. Cycling a Greater Sandworm. Okay. So anticipate's going to go looking for a land, I'm pretty sure. And then we might put the Glider down, or... yeah, I guess it's the Glider. Opponent's in Abzan. Okay. So we're not playing on the wedges that have been set out for us, because we're weirdos. So we got a Forest, which means no double blue, unfortunately. There is a Divine Arrow as well. Do we take our chances? We definitely do not. Let's not take our chances, shall we? Let's have the untapped land so we can play our 3 drops. Ooh, Ominous Seas, though. Okay, well, I think I might play Ominous Seas instead. Get that going. Eventually I'll make some 8/8 Krakens with that. In theory. And then we'll swing in. And I think I'll cycle this. Turns the Fox into a 2/2, puts a counter on the Ominous Seas, gets us towards those 8/8s. It's Colossification. See, that's where I wish this had cycling, and one of the reasons why I'm not sure if I should have put it in the deck. Corpse Churn for our opponents, so they get either the Heed Bonder, which I'm sure they were going with, or they got the Sandworm. This is a 2/4 Vigilance. Excavation Mole. Alright, some cards in the yard. We get a counter on Ominous Seas. No double blue. I'm going to cut a Forest, I think, in the next... by the next draft. I think I've got too many. So if I was to mutate, I would turn this into a 4-powered flyer. That would open it up to Blade Banish. It would be protected from the Divine Arrows and things like that, but I think maybe I should... actually, I should go for it. Let's mutate onto this. Over, please. I'm just not doing anything if I don't make this line. So let's just hope they don't have the removal for it, I guess. And then if we have blue mana, we can hold up and neutralize to keep it safe from that point forward. I think a 4/5 is pretty good if it doesn't die. Please don't kill it. God, I hate Magic the Gathering. It's the worst! Yeah, alright, I'm cutting a forest. I don't know why. We've got 4 forests in the whole deck and we're drawing them more than anything else. We shouldn't have as many as I do, I guess. Alright, let's go with a glider with flying. And yeah, just pass the turn. I don't see myself using this neutralize anytime soon, but they don't seem to have a way of killing my stuff necessarily. But the board is going to be quite large, so we don't really have all the time in the world. It's probably not time to be going with neutralizers and whatnot. So they're going to gain 1 life. I'm going to cycle this. Let's work towards Ominous Seas. Oh, an island! Just in time after I got rid of my double blue spell. So you just love Magic the Gathering. Isn't it the best? Isn't it the best? God damn it. Well, maybe that wasn't worth the risk. I could have maybe held back, gone Colossification and won next turn. It's certainly a possible outcome, but that would have been a reacher. And I think now we're just going to draw millions of lands. Yeah, okay. So now we just lose. It's unfortunate. I think that's just a little bit of variance not being our friend at all. I'm going to cut a forest. There shouldn't be this many forests in the deck. I think there should be 2 forests in the entire thing. So I'm going to go down in 2 forests and go up an island and a plains and just assume that's why I lost this game, because I'm pretty sure it is. Because I would have had a neutralize open at some point and would have made a different play, but meh. Alright, we're in, and we've got fixed mana, because I've fixed it now. We've got both of our cycling payoffs, so I'm going to keep this hand. And looks like our opponent is on... What's this thing do? 1 damage to each opponent when you cast a non-creature, untap it. Okay. Well, let's crack the Evolving Wilds at some point. I'm not going to go grab green. I don't think it's worth fixing for that. I'll go for the double blue for the neutralize if we top deck that, because that's the only double blue in the early game. Opponent's just going to ping me for 1. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, double blue. I think we'll lead off with the Dranith healer. In case they have removal, I'd rather keep the rescue around producing some creatures for now. So let's go with the healer. This one right here. See if it dies or not. Looks like it's not going to. Okay. What are the odds that they're running that volley card? What are the odds? I can't remember what it's called, like Blazing Volley or something like that. So we're going to play the Rescuer. That means when we cycle this Ambush, we're going to make 1 life. I'm going to get in with the healer here. Get that pressure going. They might have a Divine Arrow, but I think that's fine, because then we just go a little bit wider. And that's the weaker of our 2 cards anyway. Capture Sphere is okay. So I'd like to be able to push past my opponent, but we'll see. Ooh, Godzilla. Alright, so we need 1 green mana for Godzilla. Let's go in with Plains and swing in with this 1/1. I don't think there's any flashy 1/1s, but they could have Divine Arrow for the rescue. I'm not going to run into the Gremlin anyway, but I could tap it down. I just don't know if it's worth running into another Divine Arrow for that. I think we're in trouble if I don't have something to do with my turn. So So let's just take the opportunity just to... Ooh, Snare Tactician. Okay. That allows me to tap down whatever big threat they play next turn, perhaps. We've got 2 removal spells, because hopefully going to be getting to big stuff. Looks like they're just completely screwed, though. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to swing in with my... Oops, my 2 1/1s. Just hold up in my removal. I'm winning this race. So, yeah, 1 damage to each opponent. Sure. Problem is that they're just mana screwed, so we're going to win on that. Perfectly happy to win like that. That does allow them to block successfully. I just don't know if it's worth a Capture Sphere. If I draw a Cycler next turn, I can just tap it down that way. I think I might let this go for now. Actually, no, I don't. I'm just going for it. Change my mind. Tap it down, hit him for 2. I think they're too mana screwed for me not to just take advantage of this and go all in. Yeah, they've just got nothing. So now I'll just play an attack. We know they don't have Divine Arrow, so if they get it, they're going to be drawing into it. I'm going to go with the Glider with... I guess Flying. And then the Tactician as well. If they do find a way to untap this Gremlin and I find a Cycler, I can tap it right back down. Caprador, okay. Give me a Cycler, screw me very much. Okay. Do we all attack here? We all attack. They block the Rescuer. They take 2, 4, 5, 6. Then I find a way to tap them down with Tactician, Blade Banish something. Yeah, I think that's where we go all in. Keep that pressure going. Oh wow, they're just going for a token. That's very interesting. Mountain. Yeah, I think there's like a Blazing Volley to deal 1 damage to each creature in red. Which can do a fair bit. It's going to do a lot less now, I guess, but... I might even try the deck without green at all, to be honest. Although Colossification is very good. I'm not sure about the rest of them. It's a weird one to be in, not being able to cycle this green dude. But, bronze tier 2. We won the game. They were a bit colour screwed. It is what it is. I'll take my win, thank you very much. Alrighty then, we're up against another gold member. I'm starting to think that draft just doesn't exist on this format. If there aren't any bronze players, I don't see how new players even exist. I don't know. Does nobody play draft for the first time on Arena anymore, or is it just me? Alright, well, so far, our hand's looking pretty garbage, but at least we've not got a card disadvantage over our opponent. There we go. 2 Divine Arrows, a little bit of cycling. Don't care too much for this Colossification, but 2 Divine Arrows seems okay. Just answer things for 9 years. Mana's okay. So, yeah, I think we'll take this. Could do with an early game play, but is what it is. Okay, Mountain. So, if our opponent's playing what I assume is going to be the cycling deck, then these Divine Arrows should be a nice gotcha. There's a 3-mana play. It's not too bad. So we could actually go first strike on the Glider and then cycle this to give it first strike and flying. It's an option, for sure. If we have like an Essence Scatter or a Neutralize on 3 by the time we get to this point, then we can both hold this up and also hold up Counter Magic at the same time, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Alright, so blue-red, if I know my archetypes correctly, it's going to be the Spells Matter kind of deck, so we'll see what happens. Sprite Dragons, I think is what it's called. The key card in uncommon for that. Alright, cycles, creature you control, fights creature you don't control. Okay. 3 mana, and... yeah, I just get the impression that if they play nothing here and I play my glider and it dies, something bad happens. Alright, well, we do have the Divine Arrow for that, and now we're probably going to have to hold that open. We could go glider with First Strike, as was our original plan, but if they've got any burn, then they get card advantage on us. So I think I would rather just try and counter this and make them have a Convolute, which they don't have. Okay. And then now I can maybe play down my glider. Phase Dolphin. Yeah, now glider's looking a little bit nicer. Alright, so let's just go blue source, play glider. So I might go flying, I think. I know I said I could cycle this to give flying to my glider, but I also think I should probably just play as a 2/4 flyer and beat down in the air, maybe. Glimmer Bell. There's a Blade Banish. Oh, now I'm completely torn on what I want to do. I think I'll just play the Avian Oddity. Nothing's gonna get Divine Arrowed here. Should we test them? Should we test them with an attack? I think I've waited too long for them to believe that I've got a 1-mana pump spell. I don't even know what I could pretend to have. Alright, where's that double green for my Colossification? I'd like to win now, thank you very much. Lord Drakis. Turn an instant or sorcery. Have they played one yet? Oh, they've got Go for Blood. Okay. Well, that sucks. Goodbye, Glider. I can catch them with a Divine Arrow on the way back, though. As long as they don't keep mutating onto it. So yeah, you are gonna go for blood, yeah. Can't attack. Actually, no, they can do the Phase Dolphin, right? When it attacks, another target creature can't be blocked. Yep, they could have. Alright, well, we're just gonna pass. Gonna hold open all of our control pieces. We've got lots of them. So we can kill the Drakis. We can counter a creature if they want to try and mutate again. Enter your battlefield with a trample or menace counter. I might Blade Banish that, or do I want to Essence Scatter it? If I go Blade Banish, I've still got enough for Divine Arrow. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Comes down with Menace. See if they want to attack in. They do not. Okay, so I will just get rid of it. And we got Frost Links. Righto, chaps. Frost Links it is. Tap down the Drakis. Swing for 2. Hold up an Essence Scatter for their next play here. They've been making like 1 play a turn, so in theory we should be able to catch something. I don't really care about these Phase Dolphins though. They're not worth countering, I don't think. Well, they've got lots of them. And there's Neutralize. Okay. So swing for another 2. I want to encourage the Lord Drakis to attack in, so we're going to drop our Flying Guard here. It also makes a lot of sense from their perspective, because I'm going to win the race at this rate. So Mutate won't work because we got Essence Scatter and Neutralize, and Divine Arrow should hopefully get Lord Drakis down as well. So I'm assuming they're going to go in with 2 Phase Dolphins and give one another unblockable. I mean, they could attack in with the Lord Drakis and do the same thing, but they seem to be wanting to protect it a little bit. So now they're all going to be unblockable. Yep. Alright. Oh, have they... Yeah, they got... I don't even know anymore. Have they got all of them unblockable? I think they... Nope, they misclicked. Okay, so I get to block one. That's fine. So, block one. This one gives it to this one. This one gives it to this one. And this one. This one. This one. Yeah. It works. It makes sense to me. Really need to be able to take care of this Lord Drakis. Yeah, they figured it out. Made me a little bit unsure about myself for a moment there. Another phase dolphin. That one I'm probably just going to Essence Scatter. That's getting a little silly now, isn't it? I wouldn't fight over it though if they had the neutralize. My turn. Ooh, Vulpikeet. That's what I'm looking for. So we can mutate this onto our Frostlynx. That gives us some attacking power. Also allows us to hold open Neutralize and Divine Arrow. So once again, winning this race. We can get in with both, because they can block the Oddity. It enables Divine Arrow if they do. But also it's not necessary for us to even use Divine Arrow if we don't want to. But if they block and then do like some sort of weird pump spell perhaps, then we can get like a 2-for-1 in response. So they're going to take that opportunity. We're going to get our 3 points in. I'm going to pass the turn. I'm sure I can counter something much more worthwhile at this point. Aegis Turtle. Completely dead. Okay. You can have that. Let's see how they choose to attack here. Alright, now it doesn't actually matter where they place these unblockables, unless they assume I've got a flash card, which is definitely a thing I could have. Blue is a flash colour after all. But they really don't necessarily need to get this right. They've done it wrong again. Okay. It's confusing me now. Oh, this one gives it to this one. This one gives it to this one. This one gives it to this one. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Ooh, there's a green. Colossification, here we go. I'm starting to think this isn't worth it, I'll be honest. I'm really starting to think I don't need this green. I just want to make a giant kitty, okay? I'm sure I've already been asked in the comments why on earth I think this is worthwhile. It's not. It really isn't. I've come to my senses. I really should not be running this card. But it's just so damn good. It's too good not to, chat. And you know it. Okay, pass the turn. But yeah, I should probably cut the green out. That creature fights that creature. It does not. It absolutely does not, opponent. Try again. You cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on this. Ooh, that thing's cool. Oh, we're getting the Drakis. We got him, chat. They finally attacked with it. Alright, I'll allow them to do their unblockable stuff. It's a lot harder to do it wrong with 4, right? I don't know. I don't know anymore. We'll wait for the triggers to all get stacked and then we'll do our thing. Okay. Now it's dead. They have no flying protection anymore. And we can get in for 5. That's a 2-turn clock if they don't have a flyer or removal. We want to be playing to that out. So if they've got creature-based removal, it's not going to work thanks to this Essence Scatter. There's not much outplaying we can do here because it's literally whatever that card is. If it's not a creature, we can't do anything about it. If we had Cyclers, though, and they didn't prevent me from... Yeah. Okay. So that works. If I had Cyclers, I'd dig for a potential card that stops me from losing to that. I'm not sure if there is one, but I think we still win. We've got a 3-turn clock. Could be 1 turn with a classification and a nice top deck, perhaps. We'll see. I mean, they're even getting in with the turtle. That's mad stuff. What was if I had a hasty questing beast opponent? Who knows? I mean, I could lose this. Several horrible top decks definitely look losable. But a lot of my deck is cycling, so we'll see. Flourishing Fox. So that's a blocker, but I can't use it. I think I'm just going to cycle it. Startling Development. That puts Avian Oddity as a lethal threat next turn. We got 3, 6, potentially 7 mana. Coming at me next turn. Non-creature spell. Wins them the game, right? Yeah. Is it worth taking that chance, or should I hold up and Startling Development? They just make the Pyrotops unblockable, if they know what they're doing, so I guess I just want to go with the Startling Development. Could even cycle it, but I don't know if that's necessarily what I want to do. So that's a 4-4. Don't cast a non-creature spell and I will win. Or any pump spell of any sort, or any removal spell. Come on! It's a creature. I counter it. Game over. That was close. I really want to know what that top card was. As to whether or not it would have made a difference cycling or not. Might have been safer to cycle. What could I have found that changed the math there? A Capture Sphere would have been better. Frostveil Ambush would have been better. It would have been an island, so we would have lost. So, cool. Alright, I'm going to cut the green out. I think it's a bad idea. We really skirted the fine line with this green. I don't think we really should. I think we've got plenty of blue cards to be putting in its place, but I don't know. Let's go for game number 3. We are 2-1 now, I think. So, yeah, 2-1. We need to get to about 3, I think, before I'm happy with the result here. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of the green at the top here. They are very cool cards, but it's just unnecessary, I think. So I need to add 3 more cards in. I've got a Convolute, I've got an Anticipate, and you see, this is where I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's a Sleeper Dart. Or is it a Coordinated Charge? I guess it's a Coordinated Charge if I've got a nice board built up. I just don't have that many creatures, is the thing. Actually, I'll go with the Heron over the Coordinated Charge. Card draw gives flying to a thing. I'm happy with that. Alright, yeah, let's just go full blue-white. Let's stop the memeing and try to win, I guess. Next game. Is that a silver player I see? Oh my goodness. It's still not bronze, but it's getting closer to the rank that I expect to be playing against. Never have this issue in Constructed. Not once. So I'm going to keep this hand, because we're on the plane, we've got decent mana, we've got the double blue for neutralize, we can convolute, we can even start adding to the board with a Frostlinks if we really choose to do so. And we got a little bit of early game removal with Divine Arrow as well. It's a very control hand right now. So I'm happy with it. Happy enough with this. See what we're up against. A black deck, and starting off with a Mamba. Okay. To me, that's not worth killing. So we'll just go with an Anticipate. Green. So it could be a Sultai Mutate deck. Mamba's definitely a thing that you could mutate onto. I don't know if it's worth killing right now, though, or if we would just wait until they mutate later down the line. Coil Bug. Okay. Well, let's anticipate Snare Tactician or Essence Scatter, I think. They're all really good cards, to be honest. If I play the Tactician, it opens them up to play everything they want. I think I'll take the Divine Arrow. I've already got 2 counter spells. Let's have 2 removal spells. Just keep adding blue. Eventually I'm going to have to put something down, but I can add to the board once I've got my counter magic up, I guess. Or the board doesn't look scary enough for me to worry about it. So, yeah, let's take a little bit more damage. I'm going to use my life total as a resource in the early game. Pass. Opponent plays land and says go. I think this is where I cycle the neutralize. See if I can draw something better. Dranith Healer. Okay, well that allows me to block the Mamba. And we have the Convolute open at that point as well, which means we can protect our healer from being killed on a mutate. So let's take that. Pass the turn. After that we can do Frostlinks and the same thing as well. So we're taking 2, but we get to swing back with 2 as well. Ooh, Bonder's Enclave. That could be very bad for us. Repeatable card draw as long as they've got 4 power or greater creature. Makes things like our Capture Sphere not as great. So it looks like they're probably going to go with a... Oh, a Crystal? Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking that was a mutate there. Grim Dancer. Absolutely not. Alright, so now we just take 2. Yep. And we pass. So let's swing for 2. And let's go Frostlinks. Tap down the Coil Bug, I suppose. So they'll mutate onto the Mamba, and there's nothing we can really do about that, unfortunately. Or not. Oh, come on now. I need better things than that. Alright, well, let's try and pressure our opponent. Swing for 4. A Leech. Great. Everything's dead. So there goes my Cycler. Then they block, and I'll Divine Arrow the 5/2. Or not. Thought they were going to block. Well, I'll have to get them on the attack instead. Yep. Kill. They didn't Enclave in response. That is fascinating. So I think I have to kind of go with the Mamba Divine Arrow plan here and just hope that I draw something good next turn. I can't really have them be -2ing my creatures or mutates. We've not really tempoed very well. I wonder if you can tell why. I wonder if there's an indication as to why I'm not winning this game. Alright, pass the turn. Take 2. Yup. Blade Banish. That's a dead card. Keep swinging. I'll have to stop eventually because I'm not winning this race. But I do want their life total down to a low amount where I could just maybe swing for the win somehow. I really would like a good card though. Anytime. So if they mutate... Ooh, okay, now I get to Blade Banish that and exile it, which is really good. That's a nice turn in my favor. We got a ram through. At least it don't have trample. Oh, come on. Magic the Gathering, everyone. Magic the Gathering. Fertilids. I need a good card. Anticipate. Well, it can't possibly show me a bad card, right? At this stage. I'll take it. Glider with first strike, I guess. I don't really want to be trading, so let's have a good blocker. Are they going to thin their deck with a Fertilid? They are not. Alright, durdle away, opponent, for at least a couple of turns. Opponent's also drawing a fair few lands. Essence Scatter. Alright, well, that means this can't get any worse for a turn. I say that. If this is a fight spell, it just got worse. Gonna thin the deck. Okay. Ooh, getting white mana. This is an on-color crystal after all. There's a Fertilid. I think I'm fine with the Fertilid. I'm gonna save the Essence Scatter for a thing that actually kills me. Oh, we got a Mutator. I don't think we want to mutate onto the Glider though. I think we just want another blocker. I think I'd rather go wide. So now I can get in with the Helica Glider. Since they can't kill it. I first strike the 2-2 and it leaves a 1-1 behind to deal 1 damage to the Glider, so double block doesn't do anything here. So they can block the Fertilid and then kill it to get a land out of their deck. I mean, it is going to thin them like crazy, so they're likely to hit a lot of good stuff here. I should also be hitting a lot of really good cards because I've hit that many lands at this point that my deck should be all gas, in theory. I don't think that really holds up, though, when our opponent's doing the same. Another plane's out of their deck. Alright, pass the turn. I'm just holding this island as an extra card that my opponent has to play around. I don't really need the extra land at the end of the day. They drew another land. Do we actually stand a chance of winning now? My goodness. Valiant Rescuer. That is a very good card. If we can find some cyclers to go with it. So I'm going to get in with the Vulpikeet. I'm pretty sure. Opponent's got something to do at instant speed. They've shown us that they've had this Blitz Leech before, so that's something they could have. As far as flash flying creatures are concerned, though, I'm not entirely sure. We do have the Essence Scatter for them, of course. I think that's more likely to be removal or just them triggering their Fertilid than anything else. So I'm just going to get this Rescuer down. So when the time is right, we can swing with it and hopefully not care. Okay, so Fertilid going to end its own life to thin the deck out. Or are they just going down to a 1-1? Fair enough. As long as they only have creatures from here until the end of time, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, 4-4. Not too interested in having a 4-4 reach trampler, thank you very much. That pretty much ends our game right there. So let's end that. Flourishing Fox. Okay, so when we cycle, this becomes a little bit bigger. We also make a 1-1 from that. I think I'll take the cycle, actually. It's potential that we can just keep cycling and go wide. Startling Development. That one I'm unsure about. Do I actually want that one later for combat damage purposes? I think I might. I might be able to close out the game with this thing. Especially since I can make one of the 1/1s a 4/4 as well. But for now, I don't really want to do that because this Fertlid is just going to block this Valiant Rescuer, and then I'm going to be forced to use it. Rather than having a situation where they're on a lower life total and this 1/1 can get like a +3/+3. Okay, so they're at 8. This is a really close game, actually. When it mutates, we discard. We are keeping the island for things like that as well. So they block the Rescuer. They take 2, 4, 8. If they don't put anything down and don't have any removal, they're dead. And the next card I draw is garbage as well. If all that happens, then... That's Capture Sphere. Alright, so let's just do Capture Sphere on this Whisperer. Tap it down. Swing. Turn this into a 4/4. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It takes them to 1 and they don't have any blockers, so they should be dead on the next combat if they drew removal or 1 extra creature. Wow, okay. So we got really flooded there. But fortunately for us, so did our opponent. That being said, you got to keep in mind that they pulled 4 basics out of their deck as well with 2 Fertlids, so what you're seeing there, even though they have more mana than us, doesn't necessarily mean they drew more lands than us, but looks like they might have done just towards the end there. I was very lucky. I felt a little bit like a fluke win, but we're at 3-1 so far, so if we get any more wins, we're essentially, I think, up on the currency we invested. I'm not even sure if like cutting that green even helped us, to be honest, because I feel like any of those green spells we drew would have been really useful there. And we don't know what mana we would have done colour-wise. We might have had the double green by that point. Who knows? I just don't know if we had the splash for it, to be honest, so I ended up cutting it. Let's go for another game. Alright, now you're actually stupid. What on earth, game? We're up against somebody in Mythic, top 210 in the world, effectively. So, really nice matchmaking there, Arena. Probably want to work on that. Not gonna lie. And they're very much invested as well, because they've got the nice sleeves. So we're just going to lead off with an island for that that really nice intimidation value. Blue-black. So if we're talking colour combos, that's basically... I'm going to get this down first. I don't know if they can answer this Ominous Seas. The earlier we get it down, the more Krakens we get later. That's basically the flash colours. Whether they have flash or not is to be determined, but I don't know. Could be Sultai Mutate as well, but no, just looks like blue-black. Alright, so we've got Snare Tactician. That's not too bad. I think we might play that down. We're not exactly going to be able to hold anything open here, so I think getting something down for pressure early when we can't counter, I think is going to be okay. A little less useful when we're on the draw, because we're down on mana, so it's a little harder to interact with our opponent in that way. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is play Dranith Healer. And then hold up an Essence Scatter. Alright, so they have an Essence Scatter for us. Sure. Yeah, I'm just going to hold up on my own Essence Scatter and pass the turn. See if we can get a good card out of them. They're on 5 mana. They swing. What could this be? Could be a Startling Development. I think I take this. It seems way too dodgy. They could have a Cycle Godzilla as well, the black one, to give Death Touch. Also a possibility. Should we test that theory? Or should I just go with a Vantasaur just to tap down the Farfinder? let's just tap down the Farfinder. I don't know if it's worth the risk. Might also want to use this defensively as well, but I'm pretty sure they've got the evil Godzilla. We get planes. Mystical Subdual. Enchant creature. Loses all abilities as well. Oh, that's grim. I really need my tapper. I need my tapper. So let's just hit them. Let's just let them drop down something real big, so maybe it was bait. It's a 3/6. Something we can tap, but would have preferred not to have it around, I guess. Alright, well, play the planes, pass the turn. We've got Capture Sphere for anything except for that Heron. Essence Scatters, neutralizes. Yeah, let's just take that damage for now. 3/6 hexproof, eh? Could not get to this ominous seas any quicker. Come on now. Oof. You cut a land and you see nothing but lands. Well, let's just play it. Say no go. Take another 3. If they ever swing in with anything else, we know that they've got combat tricks. So close to this ominous seas. Glimmer Bell, flying 1/3. I think I'm just going to counter that. Let's just get rid of that. Still got more Capture Spheres and neutralizes, so their follow-up can't be too bad. It's an Anticipate. So let's go for the Anticipate. Get a Glider. Can't really play the Glider though, because then we can't hold up and neutralize. I can cycle and make a Kraken here, so they might not want to go with the Heron. But if I do that, I can't hold up on my own stuff. When it mutates, return a permanent. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Opponent. Yeah, they're playing around the cycle now. Alright, so now I can go with a mutate to give flying to my Snare Tactician. Is that what I want to do, or do I just want to get this Glider in? Glider allows me to hold up and Capture Sphere. Yeah, I think I'll go Glider. And I'll give it First Strike, because the Heron will give it flying, so I'll have a 3/4 flying First Strike next turn. Oh, they've just got an Essence Capture? Okay. Or an Essence Scatter. Fine. Pass the turn. We will then remove these counters to make an 8/8, which we can then swing in with. Opponent's got a land. And they pass. Alright, so let's make a Kraken. It's my favourite creature token, by the way, in this format. Keep building. I think we're going in. I think we might be going in. Wilds, crack this, grab some more blue. This costs 4, so it leaves me with 3. I think for now I'll just hit for 8. Later down the line I'll make it an 8/8 flyer though, with the Heron. I want to have this Capture Sphere for anything sneaky. Do not sneak me, opponent. Do not sneak me. Yeah, I'll take your damage. Or perhaps it's actually Dreamtail on the Tactician, because it's just a better blocker, and then I can get in with my 8/8 in the meantime. Actually not sure on that one. Tranquil Cove, okay. Doesn't buy me any extra time necessarily. Yeah, I guess we just mutate. Oh, it's a human as well. Couldn't do it if I wanted to. Under, please. It's an ambush. 1 mana short of that, though. So I think we can get in with the 8/8 here, because I can just Capture Sphere the Coil Bug, take 3, and then we'll have an ambush later to tap down. It's just the hexproof is the problem. Yeah, I think we'll pass. We'll Capture Sphere. If they attack, they're going to drop their guard. So now they're doing the math on whether I can win next turn. I do have lethal worth of damage here if they don't have blockers, so they might want to keep their Heron, Wingfold, Terran back. So we're going to Capture Sphere the Coil Bug. Let's get that out of the way. Swing for 8. We got lethal next turn, Essence Scatter, and a Cycle for the ambush, which is also a tapper. We're going to beat the Mythic dude. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Tom. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Alright, I'm taking my chances that this is not going to go very well. I think my outs are that, or their outs so that they have some way of pushing through extra damage that I don't know about, that's non-creature based. So now I've got the Vulpikeet that can give Snare Tactician, Flying. So I have 2... Oh, no, never mind. I thought I had 2 lethal threats. I can never get used to the lack of Mystical Subdual. So they can chum. Okay. Well, let's not mutate, sorry. Let's just put a 2/3 down, which is also a lethal threat. And now we should have them. Everything is lethal. Got answers to creatures. Oh, wow. Okay. So, some good draws for us, I guess. Bit early start, you know. They had that nice beat down, but we used our life total as a resource to allow us to then save our cards, stop our opponent from playing the stuff that truly mattered, and eventually just beat them down. I think I played a little sloppy there, for sure, but can't be too upset with a 4-1. Especially considering my last drafts were 3-3 and 0-3, so, you know. I'll take a 4-1 so far. Let's keep going. Alright, we're in. Is that platinum? Diamond? I don't even know. I'm never up there. We've got an Ominous Seize, which I really like. Essence Scatter. Divine Arrow. I like this hand. So our opponent's got the Lutri the Spellcaster, which just basically means that they're playing Singleton in a limited format where Singleton comes naturally. Yay for Companion. I think this mechanic is a mistake. Ultimately, I think it is a huge problem. My opponent has 8 cards in their hand. Do I need to say any more? Well, they mulled to 7. They mulligan to 7, chat. Oh, the humanity. Alright, let's play Flourishing Fox. So basically, their starting hand works completely separate to mine. So, Grixis? Or are they black-red? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I'm going to get in for 1. See what they want to do. I'm going to get this Ominous Seize down as early as possible as well, because last game it really ran away with it. Get an 8/8 inevitable. An inevitable individual. See what we can do with that. Evolving Wilds. I think they're just black-red Singleton. Divine Arrow. So I think the line here is probably Cycle Vantasaur. I'm looking for a land drop, primarily. Capture Sphere. I just don't know about going any higher. I'm not sure what they could have. I mean, we know that they don't have any more of this. Okay, so they're cracking their Evolving Wilds now. I feel like that means that they've got nothing. I might cycle again for the Flourishing Fox, build up this Ominous Seas a lot quicker as well, and find our third source. Oh, they are Grixis. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to cycle again. It's when you get to 4 that you really kind of have to worry about going all in. Alright, so we missed our land drop. Not great when our opponent started with an extra card in their hand. We drew 3 cards that turn and not one of them was a land. Farfinder, okay. It's a good chump blocker. We have the Essence Scatter and Anticipate now. I really would rather not have to anticipate for a land drop here. I would really, really like to hold up an Essence Scatter. Honestly, I might just do that anyway, regardless of whether we get a land or not. Alright, we got Evolving Wilds, so that's okay. So let's get in for 3. Yeah, and just pass the turn. Halfway to an 8-8. Ominous Seas are just so busted. Especially in Best of 1, where your opponents aren't necessarily running enchantment and artifact removal. Opponent's not in the colours for enchantment removal specifically. Last bit of black enchantment removal was Farrakha's Libation, I think it's called. Do have to remember they got a 3/2 flasher, but I don't know if they'd ever actually attack or block into my Flourishing Fox for no value. They're probably waiting until they've got double spell to use with Lutri. Leave my fox alone. Unless you're attempting to kill it with creature-based removal. They just drew 4 new cards. My goodness. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to anticipate for a land first, and then I'm going to Evolving Wilds, just increase my odds of finding it. So we got our island, and then we'll crack this for a plains. There we go. Now we got the 4 mana for Capture Sphere. We can Essence Scatter plus Anticipate. We've got so many options now. So let's get the double blue, double white down. Really not interested in killing this Farfinder. Might tap it down if they mutate onto it, perhaps. That's really about it. So we got something to do if they do nothing. Glimmer Bell. That is fine. It's just a 1/3. For now, anyway, it is. Alright, so let's anticipate. What are we digging for now? Blade Banish is okay. Snare Tactician's okay. Might take the Vulpikeet. Just doesn't play into my curve too much, to be honest, but it does give flying to our Kraken later down the line. I think I'll take it. Maybe not play it, but I'll take it. Up to 6 counters, 2 turns away from an 8/8. So, if I'm going to play Vulpikeet, I want one of these 2 mana spells open, so it's not the time to play it right now. I'd rather take 2 damage. Because I can't protect the Vulpikeet, and I can't stop our opponent from attacking with something they might mutate onto one of these. Plenty of discard fodder, though. A lot of the black mutate cards are all about that. Discard and draw. Vigilant 5/4 with reach. Oh, yeah, Vigilant 5/4 with reach. Let's just take the Essence Scatter on that, I think. Maybe it's the Capture Sphere. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm basically countering a loot effect here, most of all. Which is why it doesn't feel too powerful to me. I really need my neutralize. It's Tranquil Cove. Alright, so now we're going to go Vulpikeet. Not too invested in the outcome of this particular card. If it gets removed, it means that there's one less card for Ominous Seas. But we do have to be aware that Lutri is a thing. That actually might be a reason why we went Capture Sphere over Essence Scatter, because then Lutri isn't a double spell. Startling Development. So, do I even make my Kraken? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Is it worth even doing that? I think I will cycle Startling Development firstly. And keep building up counters on the Ominous Seas. It doesn't go anywhere when you use the counters away, so I think we're just going to pass. See what our opponent does. I might only get my Ominous Seas token out when I feel like it can be protected. Because right now it can just be killed in so many different ways. So I don't see too much of a reason to actually play into what my opponent's doing. If I'm not the one in control of it. So we'll just keep drawing cards. It's like I could even go for 2 8/8s at a certain point. When we get to 16 counters. There's an Anticipate. That's totally fine. We'll hold it a little bit. The reason we're doing that is to make our opponent think that we have a decision to make. If they think that we have a decision to make, it makes their next decision a little bit more tough, because they're thinking, do I have a counterspell? Do I have a removal spell? Why am I not cracking for this 8/8? Alright, land go. They got 16 to my 17, so they're on the path to decking themselves first. We'll see. Yeah, I really just want the Neutralize or the Convolute. Convolute's losing its value a little bit. Another Essence Scatter would also be fine, because that counts as Lutri. So let's just land go. Land go for us. Wow, fascinating game. Really good back and forth here. If I could get a Mutate card as well, I could stick that on the Vulpikeet, and then I actually have a swing through to the Glimmer Bell. I already kind of do with the Divine Arrow. I just don't know whether I want to waste it on a Glimmer Bell of all things. There's a Dranith Healer. I mean, should I be pressuring my opponent with this Vulpikeet? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Let's get swinging. We're on a higher life total as well, so if they don't block and they swing back, it's not actually going to make much difference. Now they're thinking something has changed, because suddenly I've broken away from the norm. So now they're wondering, why is this happening? We're going to go for a Divine Arrow. I want to see if my 2/3 flyer can live. They don't want to fight over that. Very, very good. But now if they play a bigger flyer, I have a Capture Sphere. Because I just don't think a Glimmer Bell that can untap from a Capture Sphere is really worth Capture Sphering. Now they go for the Dead Weight. Okay. It's not dead though. And it can still grow on a Mutate. That's fine. We'll cycle the Dranith Healer. It's an 8/8 loud down the line anyway. There's the Neutralize. Okay. So now is the time when we get an 8/8 Kraken. Now that I can protect this Kraken, at least to a small extent, that's all that really matters. We're about to have another one as well. The Valiant Rescuer. Okay, so let's get in with our 8/8. Let's see what happens. Got counter magic. We've got another Kraken coming next turn as well. Could have it coming right now, actually, if we cycled our Rescuer. Very interesting. Okay. So, Capture Sphere cycle means 2 8/8s and a tapped down board currently. I doubt that's going to be the case, but what have they got that they don't want to play? I assumed they were playing like a Grixis Control kind of thing, waiting for my Krakens to come down, but they've really done very little here. Alright, so they're trying to kill the Rock Slide with the Rock Slide, so they want to do like a Lutri thing, which is something I can't really stop, to be honest. I think I'll let that go. Reason being, if I went in response counter, they Lutri and they get the Rock Slide again. If I cycled and made another 8/8, then they get to Lutri and kill both. So now this is where they're going all in, I guess. So I think I'm going to cycle my Valiant Rescuer and make an 8/8. Perhaps it's worth Capture Sphering the Frenzied Raptor. I'm not so sure about that, though. I think I'd rather just take a chump block for a few turns. I mean, I'd tap this down and then just block with the Farfinder anyway. So let's just have the removal open for something better. How many cards have I got left? 11. So I've got one more Kraken coming. I'll keep that in mind. I am a mutate away from having a flying 8/8 as well with the Dreamtail Heron. So they're just going to chump. I've got the Divine Arrow, which up until this point hasn't really received much power. So I'll probably use that on the Raptor. What big spell are they looking to Lutri with? Grixis Ultimatum isn't a thing. There's a Coil Bug. That's Capture Sphereable. That thing can just keep coming back. Mutual Destruction. I will neutralize that. Then they'll have to Lutri. Yeah. Yep. So it's a situation we didn't really want to be in. Divine Arrow. Yeah, a little bit off. 7 turns off of Ominous Seas unless we're cycling, but that cuts down the amount of time we've got to win. There's an Essence Scatter, that's not too bad. Yeah, they've just got this Coil Bug, which is really annoying. I'm keeping the planes in hand in case they've got the Mutate, discard a card, or anything of that sort. I feel like I do have to Capture Sphere here, but I can wait on their turn anyway. I'm playing the control deck after all. Excuse me. Opponent. Opponent's had a very good deck, though. I'll give him that. I would have very much enjoyed playing my opponent's deck. That Channeled Force, though. My goodness. 10 cards to my 10 cards. I gotta be careful about how I loot and whatnot. Can you not do this on your own turn? I think they could. I think they forgot. Alright, so they're going to combat. Yeah, we'll capture Sphere, Lutri. Because it is a clock that I need to deal with. Tap that down, keep it tapped. And then they'll do Coil Bug. Appears they've got nothing better to do. Yeah, this might come down to drawing all 40 cards. Or it could just end real quickly. There's a glider. This glider shall have flying. This glider will go to the bin. Pass the turn. 8 turns to kill me with a Coil Bug. 8 cards left in deck. Hunted Nightmare? Absolutely not. If that resolves, I'm gonna lose. Okay. Now I need some real good cards. No blocks. That's probably the worst possible card I could draw. So I'm gonna pass. And pretend it's a counter spell or something. I'm sure at this point they know I'm holding a land, if they really think about it. Wow, okay. Pass the turn. We cannot draw lands anymore. It's pacifisms, counter spells, tap lands, creature spells, a removal spell that at this current point in time doesn't do anything, and some flyers. But we do have an 8/8 coming soon as well with the Ominous Seas. But no way of protecting it other than a Convolute, which I don't think is ever going to work. So as soon as we get to Ominous Seas, we're going to crack it on their turn so it has no more Summoning Sickness and then swing for the 8. Alright, so there's a Dreamtail Heron. So I can mutate onto the Vulpikeet, which there's really no downside in doing, because if it doesn't resolve, then I just get my 3/4 flyer anyway. Otherwise, I draw a card. Make a creature I can attack with right now. I think it's dead, but I get a 3/4 for it anyway. So I think if they've got the removal, they want to be holding it until after the Heron comes down. Alright, I'm going to have this 3/4. Which is actually a 2/3 that draws a card. And that's a race I'm going to win at this rate. We'll see. Clash of Titans. Alright. Goodbye, Creechy. What do we draw? Another threat, hopefully? Avian Oddity, a 2/4. Okay, that works for me. Does it work for me? I can cycle it next turn to make my Kraken a flyer. I think I'm probably just going to have a separate threat, to be honest. I think a separate threat's just more useful to me. Because this 2/4 needs answering, and so does my 8/8. Okay. Don't know if they thought that one through. I guess it was already out of the picture to begin with, but I don't know. Maybe they got a bounce spell, or a reanimation spell. Okay, Frostlinks does its thing. 6. Come on, good card. Convolute, that's the worst possible card we could get. We pass the turn, hoping to block the Deadeye with our... Actually, we're just dead, aren't we? Oh, that sucks. Well, maybe they don't notice that we're just dead. I think they notice. I mean, why would you ever play around it? Yeah. That's so annoying. Let's see. We could have drawn Pacifism. That keeps us in the game. Snare Tactician keeps us in the game. Frostlinks keeps us in the game. Literally all the cards keep us in a game, except for that one. Oh, that's a tilt. What a good game, though. That was a really good game. I enjoyed that. Let's go for another one. I think we're 3 and 2 now. Something like that. Let's check the scoreboard. Ah, such an annoyance. No, we're 4 and 2, sorry. One more game and then we're profiting, I think. Yes, yes we are. Alright, let's go. Ah yes, Mythic player number 327 versus Bronze 4 with 0 lands in their hand. What could possibly go wrong? Okay. Gonna keep this. Just get rid of a land, I guess. I need white source anyway, so I'm already relying on drawing lands. Frostlinks, okay, land go. Alright, Alucard, what can you do? An absolute abysmal matchmaking system. Absolutely abysmal. Frenzied Raptor, no. White sauce. Nope. Alright then. Cycle? I don't want to play Frostlinks for nothing. I mean, maybe it's the thing we're supposed to do. I'll just pass. I don't know. A 2-2 for 3 just doesn't entice me. That's probably my constructed player side of me not letting that happen. Dark Bargle, okay. I think we've lost. I mean, we lost the moment we went up against a Mythic player, right? Last Mythic player we went up against was just a fluke win, as far as I'm concerned. Let's get rid of this. White sauce. Nope, screw me. Screw me. Pass the turn with Essence Scatter open. Alright, so this is a non-game. It's an unfortunate situation, but I feel like we've progressed a little bit today. That's dead. At least we're getting to interact while we don't play. Now I'll cycle the best card in my deck, because I've got no other option. No lands. Well, one of my other games as well. Hilariously colour screwed out of the game. Is it just me? That feels like a thing that happened. Alright, so I guess I just tap down this Honey Mammoth for now. I guess. Just tap it down, we got Blade Banish and a Pacifism for later. One's got a tap land. Unbreakable Bond. Great. Alright, let's get rid of that. Swing for 2, because I ain't blocking. Farfinder, okay. I need another white source here so I can play 2 cards per turn. That's going to be really important that I pacify the Honey Mammoth and then still have the ability to play something else when it inevitably goes horribly wrong for me. Prickly Marmoset, okay. No more attacking for me. There's a Convolute, so we're not going to play Magic the Gathering again today. Let's just pacify a Honey Mammoth. What's this thing trigger on? Cycling. I'm wondering if I go for a Plains on the Anticipate and play the Flourishing Fox. I've got nothing better to do, so... Come on! That's just really not great. Alright, bomb me. Dead weight. Okay. Could be worse, I suppose. Let's take some damage. This Convolute's now dead because I've got too much mana to work with. Dreamtail Heron. Okay, so I'm just going to play this 1-1. Can give it flying with the Avian Oddity, which gives it a 2-2 power and toughness as well. So that's not so bad, but we're losing this race, which is very bad. I mean, maybe we could mutate onto it and make it a 3-4. Just opens our opponent up to just removing our stuff, though, and I'm not a big fan of that. Should we go for the Divine Arrow here on the Prickly Marmoset? Yeah, I think so. I don't know if we can take the damage at this point. 10 less life than our opponent. They seem all about the big boys. No blocks. Ominous Seas, okay. So we're going to go Ominous Seas. Either that's going to get removed or our Flourishing Fox is going to get removed when we go for this cycle. We'll see which one it is. It's our Fox, it seems. Goodbye, Fox. Opponent's got a great deck. Not gonna lie. See nothing wrong with what our opponent's doing. We just had a really horrific start against number 327 Mythic player, who likely does nothing but draft against myself, who drafts once every 3 months. It's just not... It's not a fair matchup. You cannot convince me it's a fair matchup at all. Yeah, just play the Wolf for keep, I guess. I can pretend to have a lot more than I do. Which is nothing. I have nothing. It's dead. Good lord. Do they just... They discarded more removal? Okay, they've got too much removal. That's not a problem you should ever really worry about. Okay, that's a 5/4 Menacer that I can't deal with. With reach, sorry, with reach. And vigilance. Yeah. Alright. About as non-game as it can possibly get then. I can't block it next turn. I need Divine Arrow to kill it. Or Capture Sphere. And naturally, I have a land. Alright, well that was a miserable game. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I really just did not play Magic there. I played some cards, but they didn't do anything. So, eh. Please, Magic Arena devs. Fix you, matchmaker. I'm bronze, for Christ's sake. Why am I going up against the best in the world? I just don't get it. Well, silver lining is we went 4 and 3, which basically means I didn't pay for this one, so I'm pretty happy with that. It were 1,500 gems in, so for 100 gems, I picked from several packs and got 3 as well. So, I mean, it's profit at the end of the day, so... The overall mood of this particular stream, or video, should I say, should be that we did well. So I'm happy we did well. I'm just really, like, miffed that we didn't actually play Magic for 2 of those 3 losses. It's just sad when that happens, especially in a format with cycling. To get color screwed and mana screwed when half of your deck draws you a card. It's just really unreal, but, you know, here's what it is. Okay, guys, well, that's probably going to be the last time I play this draft format. It's just not for me. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I might come back with a draft for the next set, which I think is like Core 21 or something like that. So if you want to see more draft limited content, I do prefer sealed. I'll sealed all day, or not sealed, cube, I meant. I will cube all day, but just for draft, I don't know. Power level's too low for me to love it, and... for some reason, this particular draft format is just not for me, so meh. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, whatever you think. Probably save your breath on telling me how to be better at draft, because I'm not going to play for the next 3 months, so you're wasting your breath on that one. But any other comments, really appreciate it. Alright, take care, guys.